Hi, I'm Lucy from Hippie Shake TV. Today I want to talk to you about bonding with your baby. I can remember bringing my baby Ramona home from the hospital and feeling a little bit out of sorts. I felt in some ways like I had a bit of a mysterious connection with her. And then on the other hand, I felt like she was this whole person that I did not know. I can very much remember thinking, when am I going to bond with this little thing? It can be a bit frightening to have a whole person in your hands and feeling like you don't know them. And I guess that's the thing, it's really important to remember that when your baby is born, they are their own individual, they are their own person, with their whole set of wants and desires and needs. And just like when we meet anyone, we need to get to know this person. And the good thing is that we've got all the time in the world to do that. I'd like to give you a few top tips for how you can bond with your baby. Because once you have a good connection with your baby, everything else just falls into place. I think the number one thing is feeding with love. Now, I'm a big fan of breastfeeding. I really enjoyed breastfeeding both my girls. It was a really special time. So if you can breastfeed, then go for it. But if you choose not to, or you can't, you can still feed with love. And I think that's the mistake that we sometimes make. We think that, breastfeeders, they're all about the attachment. But if you're bottle feeding, you can very much be about attachment as well. Whether you're breastfeeding or bottle feeding, use that time for lots of loving touch and lots of eye contact. You know, there's a little bit of science behind eye contact. Your baby can only see so far when she is born, but the furthest distance she can see is that between your arms and your eyes. She's basically born being able to look into your eyes and find connection with you through that. Take as much time as you can to look into her eyes, and then when she falls asleep, use that moment then to go on Facebook on your phone. You know, we all do it. The other thing is respectful touch. Sometimes we can forget that our baby is a person. We kind of think they're just like a little thing, and we can kind of just shuffle them around, and particularly perhaps when we're changing their nappy, we're like, oh, it's a poo, go, 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 and they don't like it, they're freaking out, so you freak out, you make it all happen really quickly because you just want to get it over and done with. But I think it's entirely possible to do everything with this sense of respect for your baby and their body. So before you change your baby's nappy, you can explain to them what they're going to do. Even when they're a tiny newborn, you can get into this beautiful practice of asking them if they're ready for you to change their nappy. And soon, sometimes it's been shown to happen within a couple of months, they'll start responding to that invitation and they'll lift up their hips and things like that. So get into a habit of talking to your baby about when you're going to pick them up, or when you're going to put their clothes on. Say, I'm just going to lift your arm and pop it into your t-shirt, and I'm just going to unbutton your baby grow. I used to spend hours getting buttons wrong on those baby grows. Could never do them, it was like cryptic science. So when you're going to change their nappy, you ask them, are you ready for me to change your nappy? Every time you interact with their body, do it with the utmost care and respect. I think that this is a building block for bonding. I also think it's important to nurture gentle sleep times. So when your baby is born right through to when they're a toddler, sleep time can be a chance for bonding. For me personally, when I went back to work when my baby was only 15 months, co-sleeping was a way for us to keep that connection. It was sort of like nighttime restoration for our relationship. We'd been apart all day, but at night we could cuddle, and it was like our minds and our hearts found that quite soothing actually. So do consider co-sleeping, but if that's not for you, you can also just respect your child and respect when they're telling you about when they want to go to sleep. You might think 7 is a very practical time for your child to go to sleep. They might not think that. Even a baby can let you know when they're tired. So just watch out for those cues and bond with your baby through nurturing gentle sleep times. And that leads me on to the last building block for bonding with your baby, and that is simply observing them. It can be a bit frantic being a new parent. You're sort of like, pooey nappy, I've got to get them to sleep, go, 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 oh, they're so cute, wong, wong, wong. But you know what, if we just take a little step back and spend a bit more time observing our baby, observing our newborn and what they like to do, they're so able to tell us how they want to interact with us. When they start smiling and giggling, that's an invitation to move your relationship onto the next level and start playing with them. You can kind of start nuzzling them with your nose and playing Bebo with them. They're very able to let you know how they would like to bond with you. So I totally recommend just opening your eyes and observing what your baby is trying to tell you, even when they're the tiniest dot. So those are my top tips for bonding with your baby. Did you find it hard to bond with your baby? Do you have any top tips for other parents looking for advice? I'd love to hear from you.